friends, we're going to do another read-along today. This one is Cricket Catches the Travel Bug. My friend Jamie is actually the illustrator of this one. So, let's get started. Early one morning, Cricket awoke to the smell of breakfast. It was a beautiful smell, and Cricket couldn't wait to get to the kitchen. There was only one problem. Her boy, Austin, continued to sleep. Cricket felt like they'd been lying there for hours when finally Austin's sister, Allie, came banging into the room. "Wake up, sleepyhead," Mom says. "She's got some really exciting news." It didn't take Austin long to jump out of bed and race toward the kitchen. Allie, Austin, and Cricket waited in suspense for the big, exciting news. They took turns guessing as Mom spooned heaping piles of eggs and fruit onto their plates. Cricket thought she might burst with excitement. Just when she couldn't take it any longer, Mom said, "Let's bless the food, and then I will tell you my surprise." "Well, kids, it seems your dad has caught the travel bug." Despite Allie's happiness, Cricket couldn't help but worry. It was no fun to be sick. Cricket's mind wandered as Mom continued to talk. How long would Dad have to stay in bed? Was he contagious? Poor Dad. Austin scooped up Cricket and asked, "Did you hear that? We're going on a trip." Suddenly, Cricket realized her mistake. Dad wasn't sick at all. Rather, he'd gotten an appetite for travel. Cricket still had an appetite for breakfast, but she tried to focus on the family conversation. Tomorrow, they would all leave for a big city adventure. Mom said it was so far away they'd have to fly. Cricket was a little worried about this too. She'd never seen her family fly. She wasn't even sure where they kept their wings. The rest of the day, the family spent preparing for the trip. Packing surely was a lot of work. Just as Mom promised, after just one sleep, the family headed off on their adventure. They first stopped at a place called an airport. Austin had lots of questions about the airport. Dad told Austin we would fly on an airplane. Cricket had never seen bugs this big before. Again, she was a little nervous, but even more excited. The airplane turned out not to be a bug at all, but rather a fast-flying machine. Allie held Cricket up to the window so she could see the tops of the clouds. Cricket had never flown that high before. In 2 hours, they touched down in the big city. After gathering their luggage, Dad announced that they'd be riding an Uber to their hotel. Cricket couldn't wait to find out what an Uber looked like. It sounded exotic and amazing. Much to her disappointment, an Uber turned out to be a car. Cricket didn't understand why Dad didn't just call it a car, but she didn't dwell on it too long. In front of her stood the biggest, shiniest building she'd ever seen. On the way to the hotel, Dad explained that we'd be staying there for a few nights. It wasn't exactly going to be like our house, but it would be our home while we were in the city. We spent the rest of that day, plus 2 more full days exploring the city. We went to parks and museums. Austin and Cricket rode on this massive revolving ride called a Ferris wheel. We went to a place with huge indoor pools full of fish. Mom called it an aquarium. Allie loved the aquarium the most. The city was full of new sights, sounds, and even smells. Cricket couldn't get enough of the fast-paced excitement around her. We all walked a lot. There was so much good food. Mom took a million pictures. She looked like such a tourist. Finally, the time came to travel home. Cricket could barely keep her eyes open on the plane, but she tried hard. She didn't want to miss a second of their incredible adventure. At night, the family always takes turns saying highs and lows of the trip. That night, Dad added a little twist. "I want you to say your high and low of the trip." We each had the hardest time narrowing it down to just one thing for our high. We all decided the low was the fact that the trip was over. Mom looked around the table and said, "Well, I think it's obvious. You have all caught the travel bug." Cricket smiled, realizing that in fact, Dad's bug had been contagious. Mom was right. Allie, Austin, and Cricket couldn't wait for their next travel adventure.